Okay, we're live. Guys, this is going to be short. Everyone needs to go to this website. I've provided links in the description. Let me just explain this to you. Urgent action alert. CDC deadline fast approaching. Oppose CDC's proposed new rule to illegally detain and forcibly vaccinate you and your family. People from every state need to act now and oppose the recently proposed draconian rule that would allow CDC to stop, detain, quarantine. Let me repeat. People from every state need to act now and oppose the recently proposed draconian rule that would allow CDC to stop, detain, quarantine, and treat, including vaccinate, any American or non-American person entering the U.S. or traveling between states simply for suspicions of being infected by a communicable disease. Okay, yeah, they state that. People traveling. But if this happens, then it's going to go further, okay? CDC has proposed a rule that would give public health officials the power to apprehend. You see, this is any elderly, any young person, anybody with an autoimmune disease such as myself. I am diabetic. I am considered vulnerable to this stuff, okay? Or could become sick and enter into an agreement to treat them without due process or right of appeal. You have 3 days to submit your comments on this stuff to oppose, and you need to apply in the comments. I'll explain this here in just a second. It is extremely important to make your voice heard by Friday, October 14th, 2016 by submitting comments to CDC opposing this new rule. See action to take below. Okay? Let's see. All right. We must stop CDC from overstepping its authority. The new rule states CDC will have police powers for the benefit of society. Such extraordinary powers could lead to the abuse of U.S. citizens' lives, privacy, freedom, livelihood, liberty, health, and well-being. In essence, if the new rule passes, CDC will have authority to take ownership of your life. I am not fear-mongering. This is for real, folks. This new rule is not acceptable. CDC needs to amend its regulations to first and foremost protect the rights of all Americans by allowing them self-determination and personal health, privacy, and liberty. We cannot allow CDC to coerce people into agreements of compliance and federal recommendations. CDC must respect the rights of the individual and allow for the least restrictive means of quarantine, including permitting people to be in their own homes and allowing them to choose the type of health care or treatment that they themselves deem beneficial. CDC's newly proposed rule is published in the Federal Register, and that register number is 2016-18103. It is available online. They have a link. You need to submit this in writing into your comments to the CDC by Friday, October 14th via the federal e-rulemaking portal at the links right there. Be sure to write your comments in a Word document and then cut and paste, because you will have a limited amount of time to comment before your session times out. I cannot stress this enough. Windows has a notepad. You can copy and paste there and submit your comments. There is an option to mail, but people online is so much quicker. So these links, okay, bookmark these. So put in reference to the docket number. Make sure you list that. In reference to docket number CDC-2016-0068. I oppose the CDC or anyone or branch of government, me or my body, to involuntarily or forcibly immunize or put electronic surveillance upon me or my family. These are the same tactics in place in Nazi Germany. Code, Nuremberg Code. The CDC should never have this power over anyone. I oppose this in all of the sentences, paragraphs, periods, inserts, rules, and military-like power that goes with it. This is communism, pure and simple. 16. Okay, I'm being told I need a mic check. This is, oh goodness. Well, hopefully this records, even if you all cannot hear me live. I keep having to switch these. Okay, send me a text, let me know if that's better. There is also a rally that is going to be going on, a protest, and this is going to be taking place in Atlanta, Georgia, I believe. Truth, Transparency, and Health Freedom Protest and Summit. October 14th, CDC Protest Rally. October 15th, Educational Health Summit. October 16th, Special Address. You can register. The link's in the description. Guys, it's coming. Let me just read this for you. The fraud, Dr. William Thompson, senior scientist at CDC, has confessed that he and his co-authors falsified pediatric vaccine safety, that data showed an association between early vaccination and the development of autism in children. The falsified data was the basis of pivotal scientific paper published in the Journal of Pediatrics in 2004 that has been used to deny association between the vaccine and autism. This doesn't really go with exactly what we're talking about, but if we can stop these vaccines and protest, get the word out, put these links together, maybe 2 and 2 will go together and people will wake up. Again, let me repeat, because I had mic issues. So basically, CDC is trying to overstep any of our constitutional laws that we have in force. They're trying to overpower the state's laws. We must stop CDC from overstepping its authority. This new rule states CDC will have police powers for the benefit of society. Such extraordinary powers could lead to the abuse of U.S. citizens' lives, privacy, freedom, livelihood, liberty, health, and well-being. In essence, if this new rule passes, CDC will have authority to take ownership of your life. You all need to share this video, copy the links, share them everywhere. I've shared it on Twitter. You have 3 days to submit in writing your comments to the CDC. Make sure there is a little bitty checkbox. You must check that. Write your comments. Let them hear your words. There is also an option to mail to the Division of Global Migration and Quarantine, Center for Disease Control and Prevention. That's at 1600 Clifton Road in Nebraska or Atlanta. No, that's NEMSE 03, Atlanta, Georgia 30329. Attention, quarantine, NPRM. So it also makes sure that when you include your comments, you need to identify the docket number, which is CDC-2016-0068 or RIN 0920-AA63. instructions for the CDC. Submissions received must include the agency name and docket number or regulatory information number, which is the RAN, for this rulemaking. Do not include any information in your comment or supporting materials that you consider confidential or inappropriate for public disclosure. /CC will carefully consider and address all comments submitted and may revise the content of the rule as appropriate at the final rulemaking stage. They will publish a final rule after the comment period that reflects any changes made as a result of comments received. Comments will also be available for public inspection from Monday through Friday, except for legal holidays, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at 1600 Clifton Road, NE, Atlanta, Georgia, 33329. Please call ahead. Area code 404-498-1600 and ask for a representative from the Division of Global Migration and Quarantine, that is DGMQ, to schedule your visit if you wish to do that. It says some talking points here. Concerns about any rule that would give CDC such total alliteration, unconstitutional, unchecked, unprecedented, described as police powers. You oppose the military-like powers the new rule would grant CDC, powers usurped and abused like in Nazi Germany. When apprehension occurs, the individual is not free. Continue to her discussion with an HHCDC public health or quarantine officer. The new rule will allow health officials to treat you a medical treatment that carries with it the risk of serious injury and death without confirmation that you are sick. The proposed practice to issue federal orders before a medical examination has taken place. You oppose forced or coerced medical treatment of any kind. The new rule takes away informed consent and therefore contravenes the international human rights agreements as in Nuremberg Code and the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. The new rule pertaining to entering into an agreement would make people unknowingly agree to undergo federal recommended health care treatments and lose their right to decline recommended treatment measures, including vaccines and other treatments. CDC may enter into an agreement with an individual upon such terms as the CDC considers to reasonably necessary, indicating that the individual consents to any of the public health measures authorized under this part, including quarantine, isolation, conditional release, medical examination, hospitalization, vaccination, and treatment, provided that the individual's consent shall not be considered prerequisite to exercise of any authority under this part. Would give CDC unfettered power to add or delete any diseases that fit their criteria. For example, this means seasonal flu or measles or Zika may be added at CDC's discretion. You need to oppose such vague criteria. By its terms, subsection does seek to limit the types of communicable diseases for which regulations may be enacted, but it applies to all communicable diseases that may impact human health. CDC is attempting to radically change their definition of what constitutes as ill by including a wide range of vague symptoms such as ill appearance that may be assessed by officials without medical training. You need to oppose this nebulous definition. Identified as being at risk of exposure makes one classifiable, I can't even read my sugar, as having a pre-communicable disease, which can therefore result in one's apprehension, quarantine, and vaccination. You are firmly against this. Comments, just copy and paste every bit of this. Our words here. guys. They need to hear our comments. We need to be completely against this. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia, you also need to protest and rally and share this with everyone, okay? I'll leave links in the description box. Please, guys. Very important. Much love.